I'm waiting for the market to hit bottom. I've heard that a lot the last couple of years, and I get it. Nobody wants to overpay. But in this October 2025 Cape Coral Golf Access Home Market Update, we're gonna look at what's really happening beneath the headlines. Because if you're waiting for the bottom, you might already be missing the boat. Just like many did back in 2020, inventory has dropped sharply since March. Interest rates are trending down and buyers are starting to gain both buying power and buying confidence again. I recently bought a Golf Access Canal home myself because the opportunity and timing aligned with me and my family, and I truly believe we're close to the bottom once again. Now, even if prices do dip a little more, real estate rewards those who think long term. Now, a 5 to 7 year hold in Cape Coral's waterfront market can lead to strong appreciation. So if you're debating another winter of gray skies, snow shovels, and black ice, this might be your sign. Take advantage of today's Golf Access buyer's market and start living the Cape Coral dream. Year-round sunshine, swimming pools, and your boat parked right in your own backyard. I'm Barry Cessna, your Cape Coral waterfront realtor. And in this October 2025 market update, I'm breaking down the numbers exactly as they are. No hype, no fluff, just the data. Now, if you're thinking about buying, selling, relocating, or retiring here in Cape Coral, click the link in the description below to schedule your complimentary strategy call with me. All right, let's dive into the numbers. I think you're gonna be surprised on this one. Welcome to the Cape Coral Golf Access Homes Market Update for October 2025. I'm excited to jump into this one. We're gonna take a deep look at Golf Access Canal homes here in the city of Cape Coral, look at the market, understand how many homes are currently available, how many homes sold last month, and compare that back 90 days and then an entire year back to get a full understanding of what's happening here in the Cape Coral market. One of the great things that I'm going to do also is dive a little bit deeper into each quadrant. Now, there's 3 quadrants in Cape Coral that have Golf Access Canal homes. That's the Northwest, Southwest, and Southeast. So we're going to talk a little bit about that as we go forward as well. My name is Barry Cessna, your Cape Coral waterfront realtor, and let's go ahead and jump right in. So first up, we've got market indicators. This tells us exactly what's happening in the market. If we don't know what to look for, then it's real hard to know what indicators there are. So we're going to look at inventory. How many homes are currently available on the market? Now, these are Golf Access Canal homes only in this market update. And so this tells us all about our supply. Median price point. 50% of the homes sold above this amount, 50% of the homes sold below this amount. Days on market. How many days are homes sitting on the market before going under contract? A healthy market or a seller's market has homes going under contract much quicker than a buyer's market, which they sit on the market a little bit longer or substantially longer. So we're going to look at that as well. And then closed sales. This is all about our demand. Now, supply and demand is what tells us what's going on in the market. So closed sales, that tells us our demand. Are there people here actually buying homes, or is it a complete iced up market where homes are not selling at all? So let's look at that as well. And this will give you a big picture of where we've come from and then where we're going here in the future. We've got a lot of things happening right now as far as interest rates coming down, inventory starting to drop. So a lot of weird things happening or different things happening that haven't happened for a while in the last couple of years. So you really need to be paying attention right now. So let's jump in and see where we're at. Active inventory. So September 2025, we had 585 Golf Access Canal homes available here in the city of Cape Coral. Back in June 2025, just 90 days ago, we had 771, almost 200 more homes available. And if we went the whole way back to March, we had actually well over 800 homes available for Golf Access Canal homes. And so you can see they've dropped off quite substantially. And then year over year, we were sitting at 610 just 1 year ago. So we've even dropped off year over year. We saw that last month a little bit, and this year this month it actually increased quite a bit more year over year. And the overall market was about a 4% decrease in inventory year over year, which we haven't been seeing that either. It keeps increasing. So we actually saw a decrease in inventory year over year. Here's our chart, active inventory graph, as you can see back in September, October. Now, as we head towards the winter months and once we get into the spring, we're going to see inventory start to increase. Last year in the Cape Coral market, we had over 3,500 homes available once we got into February. I don't see us jumping up quite that much this year. However, we will see several more homes go on the market once we get into November, December, January, and in preparation for our seasonal snowbirds that are here, which is often our biggest buying time of the year. Next up is median price point. So September 2025 for Golf Access Canal homes here in Cape Coral, we had 670,000 homes or $670,000 was the price point for median homes. 50% sold above that, 50% sold below that. Next up was June 2025. Just 90 days ago, we were at 730,000, and then year over year, 700,000. So as you can see, we've been fluctuating right around 700,000 over the last 12 months. Up and down, up and down. And that's where we've been really for the last couple of years. Since the beginning of 2023, our prices have just adjusted up and down, but fairly minimal. Where you really get the biggest discounts and where you really take advantage of the market is you have motivated sellers that really need to get out of the house, and that's where you can really get the big discounts. That's where I've seen my sellers get the biggest discounts. It's not really waiting on the market to go up or down, but it's mainly getting those discounts in the negotiation. So as you can see the chart here, 1 year ago, we were right at 700,000, and then we went up in December, and then we started coming back down a little bit, and we've leveled off. We actually went up a little bit higher this month than where we were last month. One of the things that we're really watching right now is inventory. Since inventory is falling apart, it's dropping like crazy, that's eventually going to start taking prices up if the buyers come into the market. And once interest rates continue to go down, that's going to bring a lot of buyers into the market. So it's really going to get curious, really exciting here over the next few months, especially when we get back into snowbird season. I think February, March, April, if we see interest rates fall below 6% for any length of time, we're really going to see a lot of buyers come to the market. And what that's going to do is going to start getting prices going back up again. So a lot of people that are waiting for the bottom, there's a lot of things happening right now that if you're not paying attention, I think we're getting very close to the bottom if we're not there already. Days on the market. So September 2025, 91 days on the market was the median time frame. June 2025, 80 days on the market. September 2024, 71 days on the market. Now we are seeing this number jump quite a bit, and it's like that because we have a lot of people that put their homes on the market and they're not adjusting the price. They're just leaving the price high. It's well above what the market will pay for it, but they're not taking the home off the market. So that's what's boosting these numbers up quite a bit. Now, if a home is priced correctly and goes on the market, you'll see that come off the market fairly quickly. So I think this number here is kind of a bit of it's a misconception that it states that the market's terrible when really it's a lot of people putting their homes on the market hoping to get prices like they were getting back in 2022, and that's just not happening. We're down price-wise probably 15 to 20%, depending on the month, from where we were at the end of 2020, or I'm sorry, at the middle of 2022. And as you can see this chart here, we've been up and down, and then we did start to drop, and then we saw a lot of inventory hit the market. A lot of those homes did not sell. They're still sitting on the market, and here we are several months later, and they're still sitting on the market, driving up that days on the market median number. Closed sales. So September 2025, we had 66 Gulf Access Canal homes sell in the city of Cape Coral. June 2025, 81. September 2024, 52. Now, what I get excited about and what I've been watching is we're actually seeing numbers increase from where they were year over year. So 66 from 52. That signifies a strong market. Last year, going into the fall months and then winter months, we were really seeing closed sales drop really fast. January was absolutely terrible. February was rough before we got into March. And March is when we really started seeing closed sales take off here in the city of Cape Coral. Over the whole market, we were seeing like over 500 sales here. And the same happened with Gulf Access homes. I was surprised to see the 66, and I think that number is even going to increase further because I like to put my numbers as quick as possible. So we'll probably finish that number off. Over 70 Gulf Access Canal homes selling in September 2025, which is absolutely incredible for September. As you can see here, where we were last year, September, October fell off, November, December. We're in those fall months and early winter, we tend to stay low. Look at that, not over 52. Yeah, wow. And then it wasn't until March where we really started to take off and started to see those sales. And that's when the snowbirds started coming back into the market. A little more buyer confidence was happening there. And then we've stayed strong. This should have, back in August, this should have dropped down to the 50-day. And we're staying quite a bit higher than where we were last year. So pay attention to that. Another sign of buyers coming into the market. Some of that has to do with interest rates. Some of that has to do with just simple buyer confidence. And some of that has to do with buyers understanding that they're getting the best deals right now because there's not a lot of competition here. So if they do find the house they want, a lot of sellers are willing to negotiate. Now, months of inventory. Love looking at this number. This is the number that really tells us what's happening in the market as far as should we be concerned, is the market falling apart? Now, the overall market for the city of Cape Coral, every single thing, if we throw all the single family homes into the pool, we're sitting at right around 6 months, just under 6 months of inventory, which is actually a neutral market. Now with Gulf Access homes, we're sitting a little bit higher than that. September 2025, we were 8.9 months. June 2025, 9.5 months. In September last year, 11.7 months. So where are we at from last year? We dropped quite a bit. And what that signifies, what is months of inventory? So basically what this means is if not another new home came to the market, not another home came up for sale, it would take us almost 9 months to completely sell out all of our houses that are currently available on the market based on the amount of buyers that we have in the market. So as this number drops, that starts to signify getting back towards a seller's market. Now, if you look at my chart here, the yellow line is a neutral market. Anywhere between 4 and 6 months is a neutral market. Anything over 6 months is a buyer's market. Below 4 months is considered a seller's market. And as you can see, where have we been for the last several months? We were jumping, getting really crazy at the end of last year. And then we dropped in March, and we've been under 10 months ever since. Now we're still in a buyer's market, definitely, but it's not as crazy as it was last year. Last year was pretty crazy. We're starting to stabilize. This is just another sign that the Cape Coral market is starting to stabilize. So if you're the one waiting for the bottom, you really got to pay attention based on what these numbers are telling us. Okay, other key numbers to be aware of. Sold price per square foot, $333 a square foot. List price received, 94.9%. What's the list price received? That means the price that you see listed on the MLS or on Zillow. The median, or what most people are getting, is about 5% off that price. So whenever you make an offer, you can kind of go in with the idea of offering 5% less than whatever that price is. That's where the sellers have been accepting. Not all the sellers are going to accept that, because some don't believe that theirs is worth less than what they have it listed at, and others are more motivated and they'll actually accept less than that amount. I've seen some people get 8% off, some people get 10% off. So it's really all around, and if you find the right situation where somebody does need to sell, then you can get a discounted rate. Now the other side of that is we've saw a lot of sellers over the last 6 months who said, absolutely not, this is what my house is worth, and I'm not going to discount it anymore. And they've actually taken their homes off the market. Several people have taken their homes off the market because they were not able to get the money that they believe their home is worth. They said, and I've had several of these conversations, they said, Barry, I know the market's going to come back. I know it's going to come back up. I don't need to sell right now. I was just testing the market to see if I could get it. They did not get what they wanted, so they're just going to take their home off the market, which many already have, and then they'll just sit on it for another year or 2 or 3 and wait for those prices to come back up, because they know that those prices are coming back up. So they're just going to sit and wait. But as we see less and less inventory, that's a sign that prices may start going up again. So new listings, we had 118 new listings come into the market in the month of September. That's a little bit more than we had the month of August. So we're going to monitor that. And then months of inventory, 8.9 months of inventory, which that's really surprised me that we're down to 9 months of inventory for the Gulf Access homes, Canal homes here. That hasn't been that low for a while. Now, like I said, the overall market, single family home market in Cape Coral, is sitting just under 6 months of inventory. It's a little bit longer for the Gulf Access because it is a higher price point, and they do sit on the market a little bit longer. But I'm excited. We're moving forward. We're seeing some liquidity in the market now. Buyers are showing up. Sellers are selling. It's an exciting place. Let's compare Southeast, Southwest, and Northwest Cape Coral. So Cape Coral has 3 main quadrants where we have Gulf Access Canal homes. The 4th quadrant, Northeast Cape Coral, only has freshwater canals. It does not have any Gulf Access canals, so we're not going to focus on that area right now. The southeast part of Cape Coral, this is where the downtown part of Cape Coral is at, where the Walmart's at, the original area of Cape Coral. The median price point was $615,000. Homes sold. We sold 26 homes in this area in the last 30 days, the month of September. Homes available, 232 homes currently available on the market, and months of inventory, 8.9 months of inventory. Now, this is where I just bought a house. I just bought a house about 4 weeks ago, the end of August, right in this southeast area. And there's so many great benefits to the southeast area, and I'm putting out a video here in the next couple of weeks. You want to hit that subscribe button so you get first access to that video, because it's really going to go into depth about why I chose southeast Cape Coral for me and my family. Now, with that being said though, each quadrant offers something special and unique. So when we have our strategy call, you can click the link there in the description. We're going to go over what you're looking for, what you want to accomplish, and then I'm going to point you towards the right quadrant that works best for you. Just because I love the southeast part of Cape Coral doesn't mean you're going to love the southeast part of Cape Coral. There's pros and cons to both. But what I like most about southeast Cape Coral and with my business is it's very convenient. I can get anywhere I want in the city. If I need to go to the grocery store, if I need to go to Walmart, the hospital's right up the street. Just a lot of great options there, and there's a lot of direct access canals right out to open water. So that's one of the reasons I chose. But we are seeing, one of the other things I wanted to point out here in the southeast part is the 615. That actually jumped quite a bit. That's one of the highest median price points we've seen in the last several months. Now, I can't say the same for the Southwest and the Northwest as far as price points. They aren't jumping back up again. They actually went down. Both of them did. So let's look at that. Median price point in the Southwest part of Cape Coral. That's Cape Harbor, Tarpon Point, Surfside neighborhood over there off of Chiquita. And median price $715,000 for a home there. Homes sold, 29 homes sold in the southwest part of Cape Coral. Homes available, 239 currently available on the market right now. In months of inventory, 8.2 months of inventory. So that number keeps dropping and dropping. And once we run out of inventory, we're not going to run out of inventory because there will always be homes available. But that just says there's more buyers entering the market. And I'm really excited to see what happens once we get into the spring season and a lot of those buyers from the north come down. Median price, $787,500 in the northwest part of Cape Coral. Now this is the newest area of Cape Coral. A lot of big, beautiful homes up there, a lot of new builds, really a cool area with a lot of new infrastructure, and it's still being built out. Your home sold up there was just 11. There's just not as much inventory up there. Homes available currently, 111 homes available, and then months of inventory was 10.1 months for the northwestern part of Cape Coral. That's the area near Burnt Store Road. One of the benefits there is easy access up to Punta Gorda. And if you're looking for opportunity, you want to live in a very new area, that's a great place to be. One of the benefits of Southwest Cape Coral is you're close to downtown. You have a lot of mature neighborhoods, beautiful trees and landscaping, just an overall nice area there as well. So just depending on what you're looking for is how we point you towards the right quadrant. One of the things that we'll do as well is I like to show people houses in a couple of different areas just so you really get the feel of what you're looking for. Okay, let's jump into the key numbers. Now this is really, a lot of people don't look at the key numbers. This is what really helps us understand what's happening in the overall market with interest rates, inflation, things like that, because that determines how prices are going to go up or down. So inflation, we peaked at 9.1% back in June 2022. We're now at 2.9%. And that's rising just a bit from where we were a couple of months ago. Interest rates, we peaked in November 2023 at 8.01%. We're now sitting at 6.36%. We dropped a little bit more than that last week. We did just increase a bit, and we have a target of being under 6.5%. I'd like to see that last for a couple of months. If we get below 6% for any length of time, like if we sit below 6% for 60 days, 90 days, like 5 point something, I'm really convinced that we're going to see a lot of buyers enter the market for a couple different reasons. Number one, they're going to feel more confident that they're getting a better rate, so they want to take advantage of the lower rates from where they've been for the last couple of years. But number two, it increases buying power. So where they might have been able to afford a $500,000 house before, now they can afford a $600,000 house. Maybe they could have afforded an $800,000 house before, and now they can afford a $900,000 or $950,000 house because their payments are going to be lower. So that debt to income ratio works out a little better for them. So when there's lower interest rates, it brings in more buying power, which brings in more buyers, more competition, which then increases prices. Another thing that we're looking at is unemployment is at 4.3% and staying steady. Now we've been at 3.8 to 4.2 for quite a long time, last months and months, last couple of years really. And we just jumped to 4.3% last month, which is a little bit of a jump for unemployment. It's still very low, but if that number continues to rise, then the likelihood of interest rates dropping becomes much, much higher. So that's a good thing to watch as well. Next up is supply, current inventory. Now this is the overall city of Cape Coral for single family homes. We have 2,465 homes available for sale in the city of Cape Coral. That's a year over year decrease of 4.2%. That's a decrease. For the last probably 24 months, more than that, actually, I've been talking about increase, year over year increase, sometimes as much as 20, 30% year over year increase. The last 2 months, we've had a decrease in year over year inventory. Back in March, February, we were sitting at over 3,500 homes available on the market here in the city of Cape Coral. So where did those 1,000 homes go? Well, some of them sold. We've been selling a lot of homes here in Cape Coral. But the big answer is a lot of people decided that they weren't willing to take a huge cut on their house. They weren't motivated. They didn't need to sell. So they said, I'm just going to hold on. I'm just going to wait. A lot of our sellers or a lot of our Cape Coral folks are second homeowners, and maybe they decided it was time to sell, but they don't need to sell. So they're going to keep it another season, and maybe the next 2 or 3 years, and watch the prices go back up. So then when they do cash out, they can get several thousand more dollars. So pay attention to that. But right now, our inventory is dropping fast. It will come back up in the next few months. Of course, once we get closer to season, November, December, January, we will see inventory start to jump. I don't believe we're going to jump to 3,500 again. I think that was just the top of where we're going to be at in Cape Coral, and I believe that we're going to stay. We might get to we're at 2,500 right now. We may get to 2,800, 2,900, but nothing like we were back in February, March of this year. And with that buyer confidence increasing, interest rates dropping, the supply lowering, we're going to see a lot of demand, which is going to start to really drive up prices. So the numbers are indicating an increase in prices over the next few months. Is that going to happen? Nobody can tell the future, but the numbers are changing, and they're changing rapidly. Demand, population is estimated currently at 240,000 people here in the city of Cape Coral. That's a lot of people, considering we were under 200,000 just a few years ago. Next 5 years, we're expected to be at 260,000 people living here in the city of Cape Coral. By 2050, 320,000. We're often ranked as one of the fastest growing cities in the country. And that's because everyone wants to be in Cape Coral. We have such a cool place here as far as our Gulf access canals. Nowhere else in the country can you park your boat in your backyard for the prices and the affordability that you're finding here in Cape Coral. Absolutely stunning. $600,000, $500,000. You can park your boat in your backyard and have access right out to the Gulf. Now, if you want something a little nicer, $900,000, $1 million is going to get you something absolutely incredible. So if you've been putting up with those winters in the north there, it might be time to start really considering what you're doing up there and come on down to Cape Coral so you can look at your boat in your backyard. So is now the time to buy? I say absolutely yes. I say the numbers are indicating that the market may be shifting. Rates are dropping, and if they continue to drop, that's going to bring a lot more people into the market. All those folks that were sitting on the sidelines saying, I'm just waiting, Barry. I'm going to wait till the rates come down, or I'm going to wait till the market hits the bottom. As those rates drop, more and more people are going to get more comfortable. They're going to get more confidence, and they're going to start coming into the market. So now they're not there yet. Now we did see 66 homes sell last month, which was a big step over where we were a year prior. And I think that's going to start going up. But you still have a few months, so pay attention. Buyer's market, we're currently in a buyer's market. Certainly, we're at 8.9 now, right now, so just quite a bit more above the neutral market. The neutral market is 6 months of inventory, but that is starting to drop, so we're going to monitor that. And then the fall season is often a really quiet time here. So 2 things for that. You don't have the competition, so if you come down and you find a house that you absolutely love, you can make a nice offer on that house and see if you can go ahead and get that one under contract. You don't have to worry about 2 or 3 offers typically on the same house this time of year. Like the snowbirds, when they arrive, February, March, April, if there's a house that's really nice and it goes on the market, it's usually got a few offers and it's under contract quickly. But right now you've got time to look, take your breath, or don't hold your breath. Just let it out and find the house that's best for you. And of course, you want to have that house ready to go. So when the snow starts flying up north, the skies turn gray, you've got somewhere to run to. Why do you want to wait and waste your whole winter up north when you could be down here enjoying it poolside at your new home?
sellers are willing to negotiate. So what we see right now, we do see sellers, some sellers are motivated, and if they still have a house on the market right now and it's not selling, they may be really willing to negotiate with us. So once you find the house, some people say, Barry, I really don't care what house I get as long as it's checks most of the boxes. I just want a good deal. And I've had a lot of those buyers show up, and I've been working with them, and we're finding them the good deals. And then there's other buyers that show up and say, Barry, I want this, 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 and this. And we go and we find that house for them. And of course, we still shoot for the best deal. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but they're very happy at the end of the day. Is now the time to sell. So why do you want to sell? Like we've been talking about for the last several months, if you need to sell, if say you're moving out of the state, something came up, your job, you need to move, maybe you're getting a little older and you need to move back north to be closer with family, that may be a good reason to sell. So we can meet with you and talk about what your reasons would be and then help you put together a plan. The homes that are selling right now are the homes that have been recently updated. The brand new construction homes are selling rather well right now if they're priced correctly. But we put together a strategic selling plan to help you sell your house easily and effortlessly. If a home is sold right, it will sell. Or I'm sorry, if a home is priced right, it will sell. We use a lot of social media, YouTube, and then we market it on multiple different platforms in order to give your property the best exposure, as well as our premium photos that we use, drone shots and walkthroughs of your home. We also do a special video that we post on YouTube. Go ahead and check those out here. Some of my listings are on this channel right now, so you can watch those. And if you find one that you like that's available, go ahead and reach out to me and we will chat about that. Now, if you are thinking about selling or buying, we do have the out-of-town buyers program, which is a program for people outside the state or maybe in another city in Florida, where I do a lot of the legwork for you to help you get the best house if you're buying, or if you're selling, I will go over and take care of everything. You don't have to lift a leg or a finger. You can do everything from right where you're at there in the north. Let's if you're in Minnesota, you're in Chicago, New York, wherever you're at, I can help take care of everything here on the ground. So it makes it very easy. We can do video conference phone calls right through Zoom, look each other in the eye and do business that way. And it really makes life much easier for you and your family. If you are thinking about buying or moving to the area, that's where we've got the out-of-town buyers program for that, where we first have a strategy call via Zoom. We talk about your needs, wants, and desires. I go over a strategic plan. I tell you a bit more about Cape Coral, more of a deep dive. A lot of people love that call that we have, that initial call, because we go into a deep dive of Cape Coral and I explain a lot of different information that you're not going to find on my channel. And then we're able to put together a plan to help you get what you want here in Cape Coral. Now, I don't want you rushing down every time you find a house that you think you like. You can send those to me. I'm going to go over and do a video tour of that house for you. I'm going to take some photos. I'm going to send that to you, and then you can have that access to see that. If it is what you think it is and you want to put an offer in, then we make an offer. We talk about strategizing an offer. We put that offer in on the house. And once that offer is accepted, it's always going to have a due diligence period, maybe 10 days, 14 days. It's up to you, whatever you decide you want to put in your offer. But then you've got those days, 10 to 15 days, where you're going to fly on down and you're going to take a look at the house to make sure it's exactly what you want before we completely commit. Now, of course, you're going to have to put your escrow money down once it goes under contract, but that escrow money is completely refundable if the house isn't what you thought it was. So during that due diligence period, we're going to have the inspector go in. You're going to come down, take a look at it. And then if it is your home, if you love it, we're going to go ahead and move forward and close. If you say, Barry, this is absolutely not it, it's not going to work for me, then we'll go ahead and sign those documents and get your escrow money back, and we'll move on to looking for the next house for you. But it just saves you, a lot of time of coming down every time you see a house you think you like. I'm here on the ground. I'm here to help you out, and we'll put together a great plan for you. Okay, that concludes the market update for Gulf Access Canal homes here in the city of Cape Coral for October 2025. Hope you found a lot of valuable information in this market update. Hope you learned something new. Now, if you are thinking about buying, selling, investing, relocating, retiring here in Cape Coral, I'd love to chat with you. Go ahead and click that link in the bottom to set up your complimentary strategy call with me so we can find out exactly what it's going to take for you to achieve your goals. I've helped many people right here from my YouTube channel. They've called me, they've trusted me, and we've done a lot of great things. And now they're sitting poolside looking at their boat right in their own backyard. Really exciting stuff down here in Cape Coral. Can't wait to chat with you. Go ahead and click that link and subscribe to my channel, and I'll be chatting with you on the next one. Take care.